Hey y'all, welcome back. So today I'm coming with y'all with a SeaTurtle Powerwash Peekaboo tutorial. I hope you guys enjoy. You would do anything that I want, so keep us awake till the dawn. Baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. Okay, so now I have a prepped and sanded and spray painted tumbler. I use Seaside in the gloss to spray paint it with. I did the Mod Podge method, and here I'm just sprinkling on my chunky glitter first. The chunky glitter is Thirsty Turtle by BeeJay's Glitter. I have that linked in the description box below. I'm now coming in with a fine glitter, also by BeeJay's Glitter, and that one is Summer Paradise. You want to make sure you have a really good coverage with this, so I pretty much just went crazy. I did not glitter the bottom of my tumbler because we're doing a peekaboo, and I didn't want any glitter showing on the bottom, and it's just kind of easier that way. I did knock off any excess glitter just to help out with the process. Here I am epoxying my tumbler now. I'm using Swiftpoxy by Tumbler Epoxy. I will link that in the description box as well. I absolutely love Swiftpoxy. Swiftpoxy, anything in Tumbler Epoxy brand is great. That is my go-to recommended epoxy. For me, it's typically dry to touch within 4 hours. I keep my workspace about 74 to 76 degrees, and I keep my humidity down to 40. I think I only needed one. I think I only did one coat of epoxy over this cup, and it was smooth and good to go. And now I'm just cleaning around the rim of my tumbler, getting off that excess epoxy and working on creating that little tiny space of stainless steel that you want for your tumbler to help with the epoxy grabbing that extra seal. And now I'm going in with an 80 grit sanding block. I got the sanding block from Amazon, and I'm just going all around the rim of the tumbler just to help further expose that tiny line of stainless steel that I just pointed out there. I like to use my X-Acto knife first and then go in with my sanding block to elaborate the line a little bit more, I guess you could say. Here I am just taking 91% alcohol that I have in a little spray bottle and spraying around the rim just to clean up that sanding dust. So for my decals, I have SeaTurtles. I cut out 631 removable vinyl on my Cameo, and I believe I may have gotten these turtles off of Etsy a while back. I have to check, and I will link the link in the description so you guys can get it too. I wound up cutting out 4 of these, but I only wound up using 3 because 4 would have overwhelmed the cup way too much. So I only did 3 of them. I think for the sizes I may have did 2 inches, 1.5 inch, and 1 inch wide. This little stuff, which is the Pinata color extender, you can either use this or alcohol. This is kind of expensive for the little bottle you get, but this is going to give you a lot more working time than the alcohol, and the results will yield a little bit different. The colors will come out a little more vibrant with this versus the colors will come out a little more dull with this. I feel like alcohol would be better for the marble look style if that's what you're going to go for. Either one works fine though. If you got alcohol on hand, use alcohol. But this here, I'll leave this in view for y'all. I just poured a little of this in a medicine cup here. And what I'm gonna do is turn my turner on, and I just take a little bit of this and I go down the cup with it. Let's see. Okay, so here I am taking my syringe and getting that color extender all around my tumbler as best I can. I'm not exactly sure what color alcohol inks I used. I just kind of went with it, and this cup actually came out more greener than I wanted it to. I really overpowered it with too much green. Now, the good thing with this is it's no real rhyme or reason to it. You can pretty much do it whichever way you want to do it, and you will see here shortly that I got a bit crazy and it just wasn't looking right. I really had to trust the process. Like, I was like, okay, this is not coming out how my first cup of this I did. Like, it's not looking right. But you have to work with it and definitely trust the process and stick with it. And you guys will see that here in this video. So it wasn't spreading like I was needing it to. It was still kind of drying a bit too fast. So I took my heat gun, but on low setting. I was trying to get that alcohol ink to move around just a little bit. That way it wasn't really just stuck in that same little pattern. And then I took my spray bottle of alcohol. I sprayed it on it just to wet those inks up to get them moving just a little bit. That worked some, but it still didn't get it moving to like how I wanted it to move. But it definitely added a little bit of dimension in there. So here's where things got really crazy, and I was like, oh my gosh, I added too much green, like too much. So I took a makeup brush and I dipped it in my color enhancer, and I just started mixing things together, and I was like, you know what, it is what it is. If it comes out right, it comes out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But eventually it started coming around, and it was looking a lot better, to say the least. So I allowed that to dry for a full day, and I just came in here and removed all my decals. Be sure to be extra careful while removing your decals because you can scratch the surface. This is what it looks like after all the decals have came off and right before I put it on my turner. Now, right when I get ready to epoxy, I added just a little bit of glitter to give it a little shimmer in there. And I'm just going over my cup, making sure everything's good before I get ready to take it outside to do a power wash on it. So for the power wash, I used Seaside again and Aqua. And I just came in with my done power wash. I graciously sprayed over the SeaTurtles because I didn't want them to be covered up with the power wash. And then I just kind of sprayed randomly elsewhere. And I'm not sure what color this is I went in with first. That may be Aqua. And I just sprayed over it. And this is just kind of something where you just free fall it. Like, you just go for it. And now I'm going in with the Seaside, looks like. There's no real rhyme or reason as to how to do this power wash thing, but I can tell you the closer you are to the tumbler while you're spraying your done power wash, the more defined your circle or space is. The further away you get, the less defined that particular space is going to be. I went back in over it a second time just to get the desired look I wanted, and went in with the deeper blue Seaside more because I needed that to show up a little more. It's going to give the water effect, kind of like bubbles or so. So after doing my power wash, I brought my tumbler in and I just kind of patted it dry to make sure there's no water bubbles on it. And I let it sit to air dry for about an hour or so before I went into epoxying it. And I did 2 final coats over it, and that was the finished product. I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and be sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more content.